Our AT&T 5G game summary. Lap, I think one of the numbers that stands out there is the fact that there have been 11 San Diego State turnovers.
Yeah, they average 11 for a game. So, you know, San Diego State not getting enough opportunities and being sloppy with the ball and forcing the issue at times, which is leading to a lot of those turnovers.
Well, along with Steve Lapis, I'm Tom McCarthy. You know, the other part of it, too, is that the best offensive players for San Diego State, Mitchell and Shackle, haven't really gotten going against this Utah State defense.
Yeah, I mean, Mitchell's only taken 4 shots. So, I mean, it's hard to score if you're not able to get good opportunities. And he's not getting good opportunities because they're not really moving the ball side to side. And when you play against a defense like this, like Utah State's or even San Diego State's, moving the ball side to side is always a critical thing.
All right, one thing that we do know is that Neemias Queta is not being slowed down by anybody.
Well, you know what? He's such a good defender, so he can get himself going even when things aren't going well, and things are going well. There's a great job there of getting into the passing lane and getting a dunk, and here he's got 1 block in this game. He's got 8 points, 9 rebounds, and there's an example of he didn't block that Keyshawn Johnson's shot, but he sure did make it miss, and this was a terrific follow-up here. I'd like to see him post up a little bit more and really take advantage of that length that he has.
Yeah, he's certainly been a factor. In fact, he wound up playing 15 of the 20 minutes in the first half. All right, Utah State, we mentioned under Craig Smith, 54-7 when they lead at the half. They lead as we get set for the second half to get underway. This is the first of 2 matchups. You know, one thing that Brian Dutcher was concerned about, like every team is, when they play Utah State and New Mexico, altitude. You know, how would it affect him playing in 4,000 feet plus altitude? He thought it would be more in the second game than the first game.
Yeah, his thing was, it's proven that after 3 days, it could take you 2 weeks to recover, but initially you should be okay. Well, you know, right now, tonight, I don't know if that's the reason, but they haven't played well in this first half. And they went to Mensa, because we said he had 6 points early in this game. They went to him early there.
Here's Bean, right side of the lane. Little size advantage as he's able to get his way into the paint. Turnaround jumper, no good. And an easy rebound for Mensa. Do they have to force at least a touch for Mitchell toward the basket?
You know, they got to push the ball up a little bit. And they got to, again, as I said, that's not a great shot, but he made it.
Well, Seiko with that 3-pointer.
They really needed that.
Third 3-pointer of the game for San Diego State. Trailing it by 10. They've won 13 straight on the road. 1 minute into the second half. Miller down low, and there's Mensa, knocks it away. We talked to Brian Dutcher about the winning streak on the road, and he said the same thing that Craig Smith said. He said that defense travels, and that's why he feels like his team has been so successful. Bean off the inbounds, quick shot no good. Shackle with a rebound.
And as long as they can get some stops, they can push the ball up and play a little bit quicker than they were able to play in the first half. That's what they need to do. Mensa has made that shot on a regular basis, and they attacked quickly that time.
Yeah, that easy shot by Mensa gives him 8. He leads the way for the Aztecs. Miller off the handoff. Heading toward the basket, stripped away by Shackle. Great hands by Shackle, and now Pulliam heading to the basket, has it blocked away by Bean. There was a little bit of traffic under the basket there for Pulliam.
Great
bounce pass to Bean, off the glass, it's good.
Wow.
What a look by Wooster. That's a freshman.
That was some
freshman
pass.
with instincts. Inside to Mensa, tries to skip it, and it's cut off by Bean. The turnover for the Aztecs. Bean going right to the basket, and a blocking foul called on Shackle. All right, let's take a look at that earlier pass.
Yeah, we'll take a look at this transition defense. We're going to stop right there. We got, watch, stop it right there. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and nobody sees that.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why you got to talk that out so that everybody knows who they have. Not a good job in transition. but it was a heck of a pass.
A foul, by the way, took place on the floor, so it is Utah State's basketball, and Anthony can't get the left-handed shot to go down. William along the baseline to Mitchell. Shackle for three. Yes! That's a big one.
Yeah, you leave him alone for a second, he will make you pay.
Second three-pointer for Shackle. Shackle, who came back this year off the pandemic with a fitter body, as he called it, and a bumping foul called underneath.
You're going to see here, Shackle floats to the corner, and Marco Anthony, number 44, turns his head and doesn't know where he is, and by the time he realizes where he is, it's too late.
Shackle spent the pandemic finding courts to play on, climbing fences to get to those courts. He also, as this inbound goes to Caden, it's knocked away. Shackle has it. He also used P90X and a lot of VHS workout videos to try to get his body back in shape. So it took him forever to try to find a VHS to play those tapes. And now it's all of a sudden a 5-point game.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit of a groove now. Hey, look, this is a championship program. They don't die easy.
So they've answered the 10-2 run by Utah State to end the first half with one of their own. Queta off the front of the rim. Rebound by Shackle on the tip by Mitchell.
And you know, San Diego State is doubling him off the dribble every time now. And that's what Mike May told us that Brian Dutcher said at halftime. Is every time he bounces it, I want you to go after him.
Miller from the corner. It's good. Brock Miller with a quick release. And he's got 11, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc. To Majic, his three, too strong. 4 minutes into the second half. Miller again. This time it's in and out. He had a good look. That was off the front of the rim, and Queta with the rebound. That's number 10. 13 is his high.
One thing about this game, Tom, no free throws taken by Utah State, 2 free throws taken by San Diego State.
Bounce past the beat, and it's knocked out of bounds. It's going to be touched last by Mitchell. All right, we got ourselves a ball game again, Lap.
You don't want to lose Brock Miller. You turn your head on him, he'll make you pay.
Brock Miller is the subject of tonight's Intuit TurboTax Live player profile. This season averaging 8 points. Already tonight he has 11 points. Business administration major. The kid can shoot it from beyond the arc. There's no doubt about that.
Well, let's take a look here at how he got this three. Look at Jordan Shackle here. Look where he's looking. He's got his head turned to his man, Brock Miller. He's got to know where he is. The first rule of defense is see the ball and see your man. Jordan Shackle here just saw the ball, didn't see his man, lost him, he shoots the three. Now let me say this, San Diego State as good as any team in the country at seeing the ball,
right,
seeing their man, but not in that situation.
Queta will take a seat. He has 10 rebounds. We mentioned his season high is 13. His career high is 19 rebounds. They inbound the basketball to Bean, and it's knocked away out of bounds, and it will be San Diego State basketball. Oh, Rope was able to get his hands on it. Brian Dutch will be happy about that. See if they can find something for Shackle or for Mitchell. They find Shackle for three. Wow. It's good. Over the top of Miller. That was not an easy shot.
That's one of those shots, Tom, where he knew he was going to shoot it before he caught the ball. He was so ready to come off that screen firing. That was great footwork by Jordan Shackle.
5-point game, under 15 minutes to play. Again, the first of two matchups between these two teams. They'll play again on Saturday. You can see that game on CBS. Miller for three again, and this one too strong. And the rebound by Mitchell.
That time they closed down on him really hard.
Mitchell, a little hesitation, almost traveled, gets it to Shackle. Shackle for three again, this time no good. And whistle blows at a foul on the floor. We're going to call that on Bean.
Watch Shackle coming off this screen. That is a left-right. He left-righted right into the shot, knowing he was going to shoot that when he caught the ball.
And that's a guy that's a shooter right there, Lab. That's a guy that knows
footwork.
Footwork, yep.
He made that shot because of that left-right coming off that screen.
First foul, by the way, on Utah State. Mensah on the baseline, no good.
I like this kid.
Ashworth?
Yes, I do. He's like a Energizer.
It's like
what do they call the Energizer Bunny?
Yeah, Energizer Bunny. He and the other freshman, Wooster, like Rooster. I mean, they've been a huge shot in the arm. What did Craig Smith tell us? He said, and the fact that they're freshmen and they're playing this much, it makes me feel good that they're going to be around for a long time.
Yeah, they bring electricity.
Here's Mitchell off the high screen. Mitchell for three. It's no good.
And that's his shot. I mean, he makes that.
He's now 3 of 6 from the floor. Bean looking inside, gets it to Dorius, back outside for Ashworth for three, and it's good.
I'll tell you, they're doing all this, and Marco Anthony, who's their high scorer, hasn't scored in the game. That's how you know you got a good team, when your high scorer doesn't score and you're playing like this.
And he's only taken 3 shots.
Yep.
Mensah's pushed out of the way by Dorius, and they'll get him for his 3rd foul.
Good job, Trevor.
Great job inside out, and the best thing for a post man to do on the low post if he's going to pass it is to pass it opposite, because the defense is not there and not ready. And that was a terrific pass by Dorius.
Anderson in the game. For Ashworth, that bucket gives Utah State 16 points off the bench. They're averaging 31 points per game off the bench.
Yeah, they have as productive a bench as you will find in college basketball.
Bairstow checks in for the first time, and they're going to call a foul on San Diego State. Bairstow was bumped as he was trying to get toward the baseline. I believe Brian Dutcher liked that call.
I don't think so.
Ashworth to the basket, blocked away by Mensah.
Good block.
And the near save by a rope. Mensah showing some defense. He's played well.
Could have been an offensive foul there, but a good play by Mensah.
Mensah battling with Queta again. Queta off the bench, back in. They get it into Wooster. Bairstow, Ashworth, back to Wooster. Entry pass to Queta, tough pass, good catch. Double team for a moment. Shot clock is at 2. They'll fire it up. Anderson lets it fly, no good. And it'll be a violation. That's good defense by San Diego State.
Very good defense. That's a good denial there, or attempt to deny. They come down, they make him a little uncomfortable.
Which, as we told you, was what Brian Dutcher said at halftime to his team. Mitchell off the high screen, trying to get to the elbow. Mitchell trying to get a little separation. Fadeaway jumper is good. He fed the front of the rim, and he got the roll.
Well, he used that body to give a little nudge and to hit the fadeaway, which he does very, very well.
Matt Mitchell is coming off back-to-back 20-point games. His last game was his 3rd 20-point game of the season, the 11th of his career. Wooster Trying to get to the basket, lost control, was knocked away by Polio. Mitchell's outlet pass. Free throw line jumper is short. Gomez had a look, he just couldn't get it to go down.
But Gomez has been struggling. Big time scorer he was at Cal Northridge.
Yeah, we saw him against UCLA, and he really had a nice game against UCLA.
One of the top active three-point shooters in the country. That's what you want to make Keita do. Make him shoot from out there with a hand in his face.
And now Gomez trying to start the offense again. Mensah from 17, no good. And Wooster with the rebound. Little motion offense for Utah State. Bairstow, Ashworth lets it fly.
Tough shot.
I don't even know if he saw where the ball was going when he let it go.
I don't know about that one.
San Diego State hanging around. It's only a 2-possession game.
See, that's what I mean. When you're Utah State, you get bogged down a little bit. Get the big man into the low post and get something good.
Speaking of the big man, the rope is going to be called for an offensive foul. Well, Lapp, it's turned into a 6-point game. San Diego State's got to get their big guys going.
Absolutely, but this guy here's got to get going too. Matt Mitchell, a little bit off the bounce, gives that little bump and the fade away. And they've cut it to 6 now, the Aztecs.
It's a 6-point game, 41-35. We mentioned that these two teams will face each other again on Saturday. And one of the things that Brian Dutcher talked about a lot today is his success on the road. And he said that defense travels. That's why they've been able to win 13 consecutive games on the road. It's been 677 days since the last loss on the road to Nevada, and their margin of victory left 13.5 points.
Yeah, no, they have a culture. They have a program, and this program is based on defense. If you don't play defense, you don't play. And that's how they built this thing. And now, the message is sent because the guys who came before these guys have won, and the guys that are there know it. And that's why they do it.
Yeah, and now when you're in the Mountain West, you're going to play in cities where the altitude is much higher than where you come from. And since last year, they are 6-0 when they have used this beet juice concoction that they have put together, that that one of the strength and conditioning coaches and trainers put together, Sergio Ibarra. He makes a 40-ounce batch, which includes 32 beets, 8 apples, 10 carrots, ginger, a pear, and a half a lemon, and they drink it 4 ounces at a time. Matt Mitchell said, I wouldn't say it's the best taste in the world, but it definitely does the trick.
That sounds
so
nasty.
I am sucking it up and using it. Here's Keita. That is a beautiful move.
Up and under move. And he's right at the rim. Once he gets through you, it's over.
It's his third double-double in the last 4 games. He has 10 points and 11 rebounds, 19th double-double of his career. 43-35, under 10 minutes to play.
Throw it in there.
Whistle blows, foul will be called on Wooster.
We got 10 minutes to go in the game, Tom. Utah State hasn't shot a free throw, and San Diego State has shot 2.
It is amazing in this day and age in college basketball.
Well, you know what's amazing in this game with 2 really good rebounding teams, and Utah State, one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the country. They only have 4 offensive rebounds in the whole game.
William thought about taking the 3, but instead dribbles it out.
And there have been misses. They're 18 for 42. It's not like they're shooting 65%. There's no misses.
Shot clock down to 5. Quick curl into the paint. Shot no good. Keita with the rebound. That is number 12 for him.
I keep throwing it to him on the box. And when they double him, he'll pass it.
Yeah, the story goes that Craig Smith-Remford's Magic Johnson with his big men, because you have 2 7-footers, and Johnson, who was a guard but could play forward, played center as well, was such a great passer. And Keita said, Coach, can you start calling me Magic Johnson because I'm passing so well? And the rebound and the foul. Bean with the rebound and the foul over the back against San Diego State. And Craig Smith said, well, you're not at Magic Johnson level yet, but you are getting better with it.
Let's say this. You're a great passing center, not a great passing point guard. There's a difference between the two.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. Who was the best passing center? Is Wilt the best passing center?
Jeez. See, now, when you're asking me about Wilt, you're like telling me something like, come on, lad, you saw Wilt play a lot.
You're
right?
such a
that's
good
kind of
researcher.
what I'm taking.
You're a good researcher.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I'm taking it. How about Bill Walton?
Bill Walton was a good passer.
Oh, one of the best ever.
Cada able to tap that one in. That's 13 rebounds.
Did Wilt pass? He scored 100 in the game.
He did pass. Shackle, pull-up jumper is no good.
He scored 100. How many passes you throw?
You're not going to pass much at that point. Wooster along the baseline. Bounce pass to Bean, and an offensive foul will be called on Wooster.
Just left his feet. A little out of control. Good job there. Who's that? A rope? No.
I think that was Mensa. Yeah, that's Mensa. I hear people yelling that he was in the restricted area.
Guess what?
Yeah,
he was. That's a good call by the fans. They don't get a lot of, they don't get a lot right, but there's no, my God, that's not even close.
Yeah, Bean's knee got him in the back of the head, and that's why he was slow to get up.
Yeah, that's a bad call. Last 2 minutes they could review it, but not there.
Right. Yeah, they're still barking it. They'll probably bark it for a little while.
Yeah.
By the way, when Wilt scored 100, he had 2 assists. He had 25 rebounds. Guy Rogers had 20 assists.
That's pretty good you came up with that.
Yeah. (45-37), 7:45 to play, second half. Wooster off the high screen, heads to the basket, blocked away by Mensa. Second block for Mensa. 4 of 7 from the floor. He's been a good weapon for San Diego State.
He sure has.
Over the top, off the glass. (45-37). The officials are talking about that block, which was not called in the restricted area, as we get set to come out of this timeout. By the way, tomorrow we're back with a doubleheader of college hoops at 5 Eastern. The Marshall Thundering Herd take on Western Kentucky, followed by Bowling Green and Buffalo at 7. Catch it all on the 24-hour home of CBS Sports. A couple guys to watch tomorrow. Kinsey's averaging over 21 points per game. And Bassi, who 2 years ago was the Defensive Player of the Year, had that horrific knee injury in November of last year in that game against Arkansas that Western Kentucky won. But he's bouncing back and having himself one heck of a season.
Playing like an All-American.
Yep.
It's been unbelievable.
Again, that's tomorrow at 5 Eastern on CBS Sports Network. Utah State with the basketball and the lead. Shot clock is at 5. Wooster, I don't know if he realizes it, gets it to Bean. 2. Bean lets it fly. No good. Mensa with the rebound. But he's able to clear it out. Mensa has 10 points, 6 rebounds. Double figures now in 4 consecutive games. Inside the free throw line for Mitchell, who just hasn't been able to get it going, at a foul on the floor.
Well, you know, the thing about Mitchell is when he's good, he's making threes, but he's getting into the lane there. You know, the lane is a little tough with that big guy sitting around there. It's not as easy to get in there and pull up.
That foul on Utah State was its 5th. And the inbounds goes to Mensa, and he has it stripped away. And Anthony at midcourt is fouled. And Cade is trying to get the 1,600 that are at the Spectrum up on their feet. I thought it was going to go against Anthony there, Lap. He pushed off at midcourt.
I did too.
But it's going to go against Pulliam. All right, San Diego State has been given a technical. The bench has been given a technical. So Miller will go to the free throw line. And he cans the first free throw of the night for Utah State. First attempts of the night.
Well, how about they send the guy to the free throw line? We know how good a shooter
Right.
is. Who's 4 for 6 on the season.
All right, so watch the bench at the top. Ryan Dutcher was not happy out on the floor. How is that not a foul? I agree with what Dutch was saying there. I mean, there definitely was a push-off by Anthony. Queta.
Good move.
Off the glass. Beautiful move.
He loves that up and under. That's his best move. I'd like to see a jump hook because this kid learns a jump hook with as long as he is. You're not going to never block. You don't block jump hooks anyway.
14 points, 13 rebounds.
He's had 2 up and unders in this game. That's a charge.
And Mitchell. That foul is going to go against Bean, so they called a defensive foul.
Yeah, let me. I want to see it, but I was going to say that's one of those plays where you just teed the coach. I think we're going to give him one here. Let me see. I thought Bean had the spot there. But look at this move. He likes this up and under. Up, and under.
Oh, that's a beautiful move.
That's a beautiful move.
If there's any big men watching, high school, middle school, you learn that, you're going to score a lot of points. As Mitchell connects.
And he's used it twice. He's got terrific footwork down there. He needs to add a little bit more to his low post game, but I've loved this kid from when he was a freshman. Last year he was hurt a lot, especially early on in the year. But I'll tell you, he's got a lot of potential.
Mitchell made the first one, missed the second one. Seiko with the rebound.
He also needs to get a little stronger.
Yes.
But he will.
Yeah, he's already gotten even stronger from when he arrived.
As we all know, Tom, we've gotten bigger since when we were 18.
Amen to that.
19. Just naturally.
Yeah, some of us have even lost hair. Others have not. So you got that going for you, Lap.
Something, at least I got something.
49-38. Mitchell, by the way, in double figures for 12 consecutive games. That's a career high. His jumper inside the paint, no good. Mensah, though, is able to pull it out of the air.
Yeah, I mean, they're doing a great job on the glass right now against a tremendous rebounding team.
Mitchell again has an advantage against the freshman. Kicks it out to Pulliam. Pulliam for the free throw line, no good.
And I'll tell you, Mitchell passed that because the big man was lurking in there.
Ball is stripped away. Pulliam's had some good hands tonight. And now Mitchell in transition. And he lost that one. Bean picks it up. And Mitchell is hurt. That is not a sight that anybody in San Diego State wants to see.
No.
13th all-time coming into this game in points. In school history, has 10 tonight.
Come on, get up.
Yeah. Oh, man. Just look at the leg, the way it
extended.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
You want to talk about somebody who's worked his tail off to become the player that he is? I mean, this is his year. Taking over for Malachi as the leader of this team. Well, the athletic training staff is taking a look at the stability of the knee as we speak.
Moving him around pretty good.
At one point, it almost looked like he said, "I'm good, I'm good."
Yeah, I thought that's what he said, but yeah, they're moving him around pretty good.
His teammates looking on. Even though the 1,600 in capacity tonight, the players are still spread out along the benches. Well, that's a good sign. He looks like he's walking okay.
Yeah.
But they're going to take a look at him.
Yeah.
So Rope will check in for him.
The most indispensable player on that team.
I would agree with that.
Him.
I think San Diego State is hoping that it's kind of like the Jalen Suggs from Gonzaga injury earlier this year, which looked bad, but turned out to be not so bad. All right, 5:47 to play here in the second half. It's 49-38 Utah State with the basketball. The Aggies have won 8 straight games. The closest game during that stretch was 13 points against Northern Colorado. The ball went in and then out. And now Miller fires a 3, and it's no good. The rebound underneath is grabbed by Mensah.
I'll tell you, the Aztecs could use Terrell Gomez to find his stroke.
Yes, I would agree with that. Mensah from the free throw line, and it's good. He realized that he was open a couple times. He has 12 points, double figures in 4 straight.
He's the second most indispensable guy for them.
Yeah, he just keeps getting better and better.
Yeah, he is.
This is only a 3-possession game with under 5 minutes to play. Miller to Anthony. Shot clock under 10. Anthony in the paint, and Anthony is finally able to get a bucket. It's first bucket of the night.
Yeah, transfer from Virginia. Has been their high scorer all year. First basket of the night.
Played 1 minute in the NCAA tournament against Gardner-Webb with Virginia's trek to the national championship. Inside to a Rope, working against Bean. Bounce pass to Mensah. Mensah in a double team is fouled by Miller. It's good body control by Anthony.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so to the free throw line is Nathan Mensah, 66% of the year, cans the first one.
Box out. Box out.
You hear that being preached from the sidelines in San Diego State to box out. And that ball rolled around. Keita is able to pull down his 14th rebound. That's a season high. 19 is his career high. And San Diego State definitely needs some stops here, and that's why Gomez is up against Wooster.
Trying to put a little bit more pressure.
Yep.
So he just catches the ball out so far from the basket. I'd like to see him post up a little harder.
And Miller cans another 3. That's number 4 for Miller.
He's been tough tonight. When you've left him alone for a second, he's made you pay.
And he has a game-high 16 points against San Diego State, playing without their leading scorer, Mitchell, who's on the bench with a leg injury. Off the front of the rim, no good.
If you
Miller
see
with the rebound.
what's going on, Tom, now is that San Diego State doesn't have somebody who can make it happen off the bounce. And that's what Matt Mitchell does, and that's what Malachi Flynn did for them last year. They had 2 guys like that. Now it's just Mitchell, and he's not in the game. Really hard for them to score in a half court.
And Utah State is using some clock here, too.
Yeah, absolutely. Up 13.
Wooster, step back 3, no good. And Keita with the rebound, that's his 15th.
And that was a great rebound. He came from the other side of the court and ran that one down.
14 points, 15 rebounds for Neemias Queta. They go down low to him. He lost control. The ball is loose, and it's picked up by Shackle as the shot clock winds down to 0. Now Gomez into the front court. Shackle lets it fly, no good. Keita goes out of bounds with that ball. Well, Brock Miller-Lapp has a career high in points tonight, or season high in points tonight.
Well, this guy can really shoot the ball. And if you leave him for a second, he does a nice fade there and makes him pay. 54-41, Aggies.
Saturday at CBS, we're right back here at the D. Glenn Smith Spectrum in Logan, Utah for the rematch between San Diego State and Utah State. What adjustments will these teams make in Game 2? Less than 48 hours away. Coverage begins at 1 Eastern with Inside College Basketball this Saturday on CBS. It'll be interesting to see what kind of adjustments will be made and, you know, how healthy is Matt Mitchell. It's 54-41, the leading scorer for San Diego State. Went out with a leg injury a few minutes ago. Well, Utah State's bench play, as we talked about coming in, was something that we would look for. And fuel to win the performance of the night is the bench.
Yeah, they have a terrific bench. Over 30 points a game. They all can shoot it. And Craig Smith goes to that bench. And I don't blame him.
Yeah, 16 points off the bench tonight, 16-2. So our Gatorade fueled to win performance, the bench production, it's even a little lighter than usual, but it's still a separation. Anderson leading the way with 6. 2:25 to play in the second half. Three-pointer up top, no good. The rebound by a rope, and he's fouled on the floor. That'll be the 8th team foul for Utah State. Brock Miller called for that foul.
San Diego State's been very active on the offensive glass here the last few minutes.
And a rope is off the mark on the free throw. By the way, San Diego State has just let us know that Matt Mitchell is being looked at for right knee injury. He will not return tonight. He is on the bench. And our thanks to both staffs, Utah State, San Diego State. They are unbelievable when it comes to information, and they certainly make our job so easy.
These guys are pros.
Yep. Wooster, his 3 no good. Gomez able to run it down. 1:45 to play. Tomajic from the baseline. It's good. Nothing but net there.
He's really helped them to transfer from Maryland.
Yep.
Hardly played at Maryland.
He's made this an 11-point game. Last time San Diego State was held under 50 points was in 2019.
I mean,
January 2019.
if I'm San Diego State, I'm fouling at least, you know, a couple of times. You know, 11 points, I mean, obviously it doesn't look good, but.
Keita has it stripped away. It remains Utah State basketball with 3 on the shot clock.
And now, obviously, you let him run the clock down that far. He's got to get a little stronger with the ball.
Is that hard to do?
You know, a lot of it's physical strength. Well, that's terrible pass.
Yeah, that's an errant pass by the freshman. And now Shackle running the length of the floor, going up, has it blocked away by Bean out of bounds.
Bean is a very good defender. He's one of the reasons why Matt Mitchell, before he got hurt, was struggling in this game. He's a tough defender.
Shackle inbound, gets it to a rope. Gomez. It's a tough matchup against the size of Anthony. Shackle's cut off. So now Gomez to the free throw line. The rope for 3. It's no good. Rebound is loose. Whistle blows and a foul called. And I believe that'll go against the Aggies.
I think it's on Keita.
Yeah. So Neemias Queta called for the foul. That's his 3rd. First free throw is good. There's Matt Mitchell. And we hope he's okay and is able to get back on the floor on Saturday. Second shot is good.
Here comes the full court press.
And how about the defense for Utah State? Last 5 games, they've allowed 52, 48, 53, 45, and 46 points. That's unbelievable.
I guess their
defense travels.
And I guess San Diego State, this one's over.
It's been 677 days since San Diego State last lost a road game. Wooster's able to can the 3 to make it 57-45. 10 seconds left. This 13-game road winning streak for San Diego State is over, but the winning streak for Utah State will climb to 9 in a row. Greg Smith's team, a fantastic job tonight on the defensive end, but also give them credit offensively too. They win it by a final score of 57-45.
Well, 14 and 16 for the big guy, and I guess Brian Dutcher's having a little conversation there with one of the referees, but a great win by Utah State. Their defense was tremendous in this game.
Yeah, Matt Mitchell with the ice on his knee, limping off the floor, embraces Keita. We'll be back in just a moment after this victory. $57-45, the final score. Utah State has won it. They've won 9 straight games. For San Diego State, their 13-game road winning streak is over with now after tonight's setback. So with the victory, Utah State climbs within a half game of Boise State. Boise State sitting atop the standings at 8-0. Utah State at 7-0. San Diego State still within reach at 3-2.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, you know, especially the way the season's going to be this year, where all these back-to-back games are, and now we'll have to see what kind of adjustments San Diego State makes for their game on Saturday. You know, they have to be some, but the biggest adjustment is going to be, how is Matt Mitchell?
Yeah, he was limping off the floor. He had ice on his knee, looked at by the athletic training staff, and the hope is that he is able to get himself back on the floor for Saturday's matchup on CBS against Utah State. It seemed like the Aggies fed off the crowd tonight. 1,600. You can hear, you can hear the ambiance.
They love their
crowd.
Basketball out there, Tom. They've loved it for a long time. You know, it's always been a program with a lot of tradition, and you know, those fans are into it.
Neemias Queta finished with 14 points, 16 rebounds. The 16 rebounds was a season high. It was 3 away from his career high, which was 19 rebounds. He was fantastic tonight. Miller with 16 points. He was 4 of 10 from beyond the arc. Let's look at some of the things that Queta did tonight.
Well, you know, he made steals off the ball. He made blocks. He obviously rebounded the ball tremendously. And how many times he intimidated, like on this particular play there, where he didn't block it, but just being around made people miss. And I think that's one of the reasons why Matt Mitchell, when he was in the game, didn't play as well driving the ball into the lane, because this kid is just a tough defensive player.
Well, there he is. Neemias Queta joins us now. Neemias, congratulations on a fantastic night. It must have felt good to be able to get into the rhythm that you got into tonight.
Yeah, man, it was a good game for us. We fed a lot off the crowd, so it's nice. It's nice to have. It's nice to play at home. So it's nice to be back home and get a win.
Well, Neemias, you guys held one of the better three-point shooting teams in the league to 5 out of 20 from the three-point line. How were you guys able to do that?
I'm just playing just by knowing their plays and just preparing well during the week. I felt like we did a really good job just playing to our strengths and limiting them to their weaknesses. So I just feel that that's a big key for us, and we just got to carry it on for Saturday.
Now, Neemias, I don't know if you know it, but it's very odd that a guy who's 7 feet tall would be such a good passer that you're in the top 10 in the league in assists. Where'd you get that part of your game?
I'm just being able to see so many double teams during my past 2 years. I felt like I adjusted really well to that, but still I feel like I got to turn over a little bit more just because it's too many for me, I feel like.
Yeah. We got to tell you, our heart stopped a little bit in the first half when you went up in the air and fell hard to the floor. Did your heart stop a little bit too?
Yeah, I felt like I was in the air for like 6 seconds. So it's good to stand up and be healthy.
Yeah, we're looking at it right now. I mean, you were up and you were down, and it's you're a big man to go fall into the ground like that. In fact, Ashworth came right over to check you before he ran up the floor. What about coming back again on Saturday to face these guys again so quickly? How difficult is that?
It's a different type of game. I don't think since I've been here we ever played at home at 11 a.m. So it's just something that we got to adjust to, and I feel like this is the big key for us this year. This year with everybody with the coronavirus and everybody having so many uncertainties, it's just coming ready to play every day no matter the circumstance.
Nemish, what are the biggest key for you guys being able to achieve the goals that you want to achieve? What do you guys have to do?
Just share the ball and play defense. I felt like we lost a lot of our leadership, a lot of our scoring from last year. So I just feel that we got to play. We're a really good defensive team, and I think that we gotta turn it up a notch because some days it's going to be harder for us to get points, but if we stick to our identity of playing defense and sharing the ball, I think we'll be pretty good.
I think the one thing that stands out for me, Nemish, watching you guys tonight, and the fact you have to come back on Saturday with the way the altitude is and everything, your depth is outstanding. Even though you lost some guys from last year's team, losing Sam Merrill is hard, but your depth is really good.
I feel like we got a really balanced team. We don't have like a bigger difference between some players and others. I just feel we're balanced, and we got so many different options and weapons. It's just different. Yeah. It's different to scout us. It's different to stop us. So I just feel we gotta keep sharing the ball, like I said, because it can be a night for anybody.
Well, we're happy that you got up after falling in the first half. Congratulations on the victory, and have a good rest of the year. Okay.
Thank you. We'll see you guys.
Yeah.
Take care.
Nemish Keita, our guest, coming off a 14-point, 16-rebound game as Utah State has won for the 9th consecutive game with a two-handed jam.